Good evening and welcome to everyone. Thank you for being here. I believe, how many years have we done this? I think 12 years now we've done this Fine Arts Achiever Ceremony. We're recognizing students in all of the fine arts that have completed 8 semesters of study. We have several students that have done multiple disciplines, but we appreciate these kids sticking with the arts. I know there's lots of things to be involved in, lots of things to do, but we're glad that they stuck with us. Some benefits of the arts are creativity. This can be applied to all aspects of life, problem solving, everyday tasks or projects. They learn diligence about practicing, making perfect in all of the disciplines. Patience, it takes time to master one's craft. Sometimes there are going to be lots of failures before there's success. It teaches expression, positive way to express one's feeling and emotions. Teamwork, working together with others and understanding one's contribution to the whole. They get to experience different cultures. They can learn to appreciate, respect, and understand one another regardless of differences. And of course, it's fun and enjoyable. So we just are very proud of all our students that have stayed in the arts. We thank you parents for being here. I know it's an exciting month coming up with, we got different programs and concerts coming up into the year. I'd like to thank Mrs. Allison Dewey for being here tonight, our superintendent. Thank Mr. Goodwin for being here, assistant principal here at the high school. And at this time, I will turn it over to Christy Lawrence.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker this evening, artist Beth Ivins. To many of you in this room, Mrs. Ivins is not a stranger. She recently retired after serving 30 years as a teacher of the visual arts to students throughout Arkansas. Mrs. Ivins is one of the primary reasons we are able to hold this ceremony tonight. She passionately advocated for our Mountain Home High School students who went above and beyond by pursuing and completing 4 or more courses in the fine arts by establishing the Fine Arts Program of Study in 4 areas: band, theater, the visual arts, and vocal music. Because of Mrs. Ivins and her perseverance, we are able to recognize 48 seniors tonight with honor cords, certificates, and the opportunity to receive a scholarship through the Mountain Home Education Foundation. Mrs. Ivins consistently created her own artwork during her tenure as a teacher and continues to do so today. Her work has been featured in a number of exhibitions and has received a multitude of awards. A quote that I found from Mrs. Ivins on the Arkansas Arts Council website that was posted a few years ago when Mrs. Ivins was a visual arts instructor here at Mountain Home High School states, "I began my career as an art teacher as one who created samples for the benefit of my students, to instead being an artist with the privilege of sharing my artistic experience with them. I am always challenged and inspired by them to continue to seek solutions for my own visual inquiries. I paint both plein air and in my own studio. I also enjoy working alongside my students in the classroom, drawing life studies to painting murals. I think because of the variety of media that I teach year to year, I don't stay rooted in just one or two. I especially enjoy working with pastels, oils, watercolor, batik, and mixed media jewelry. I find joy in preserving my memories of family through the objects I include in my still life renderings, as well as the people I select for my portraits. As a teacher of art, my goal is to try to instill a love for creative problem solving in my students." So without further ado, I now turn the program to this wonderful individual and gifted artist, Mrs. Beth Ivins.
Well, thank you. I was so tickled when Miss Lawrence asked me if I'd be willing to come speak tonight. And for about 5 seconds, I was in panic mode. I thought, I don't know how to do that anymore. I'm out of practice. But it is such a joy to be here. And I think it may be 10 years, but I'm not sure, that we've been doing this. And there was just a point where we decided you guys are worth it, to celebrate the dedication and the sacrifices you've made to be here tonight. So let me start by just saying I am so proud of you. I don't know if you hear that often enough, but I want to tell you that from the bottom of my heart. And I want to just take a short walk down memory lane for you. It's probably been quite a ride, and you guys are at a point where you're busy, you just want to see it in and rest, just sleep, probably. But hang in there, it's all worth it. Enjoy every minute of it. I've been kind of snooping and paying attention to what's been going on this year, and I've just been blown away. And I know from personal experience, the visual artists, you guys have had an outstanding 3 years. 2 that I had the privilege to know you at the local, region, and state level, and scholarship applications that were successful, and that is so exciting. Theater, I know, I kind of snooped around to see how your year went and saw that superior ratings at State Showcase and wonderful performances. I hate that I missed Beauty and the Beast. Just recently, we were out of town. We were fishing, actually, camping and fishing. And choir, I know you guys were very successful in your assessments, and it always blew me away to listen to y'all perform, whether it was singing the Star Spangled Banner on the stage for the Veterans Program or whatever it was. I was always in awe. And band, oh my gosh, sweepstakes, 6A concert champions, competition champions. Congratulations, that's phenomenal. And you know, most people don't know how you got there. They just see the end results. They hear the end results, but they don't know what you guys have put into it day in and day out. We do. We see it every day, and it's a sight to behold. And I want you to think about what brought you back year after year. Why did you stick with it? Because it wasn't always roses, was it? There were difficult people you had to put up with. Sometimes it was the adults in your life that you walked in and had to follow directions from. Sometimes you didn't maybe get a part that you auditioned for, that you worked hard for, or you didn't make all region or all state, or maybe you didn't get an award at a competition with a work of art that you were so incredibly proud of. Whatever it was, it's not always easy, but that's where the character comes from. And you know, you guys have been hearing since probably middle school, at least junior high, about those soft skills that your advisors and your teachers keep talking about, that you're going to need to go into the workplace to be successful. This is where those come from. Between your parents and between your experiences that you've been absorbed in, that's where it comes from. And you guys are going to be ready. You're going to do your families proud, you're going to do your school proud, your hometown, and hopefully a lot of y'all will come back and raise your families here, or whether you do or not, you go out in the big wide world and are successful, you're going to be ready. We know that. I want you to think about the things you had to give up, too. Think about the free time. You could have sat playing games or just hanging out on your cell phone, you know, in the evenings, but you weren't. You were here, you were at rehearsals, you were at practices, you were at performances, competitions, art exhibits, whatever it was. You put in the time. You missed the opportunity to take some classes you might have liked to have taken because you weren't going to give up that fine art class that you're part of. Even though maybe your friends were in that class, or you might have thought the grade would have been easier than what you were doing by staying with your art program. And you missed time with friends and family. But I hope you realize the value that came from that. What were some of the payoffs? I have a feeling that y'all are going to come out of here going, I was pretty good at that. You might not have been first chair, but you were there, you were dedicated, you did your part. And think about your school family. Some of you were part of multiple concentrations. So you may have had almost like 2 or 3 different families here at school that were important to you. I had the privilege of marrying one of my school family members. My husband was in band with me. Matter of fact, y'all don't tell him I told you this, but we even competed against each other for band council president our senior year. I won. And I rubbed it in. So, in a lot of cases, you were learning leadership skills and may not have even realized it. You may have been somebody who had to help somebody else along the way. You were that encourager. But nobody understands quite like you guys do what it takes, okay? And you're going to take that into the workplace. And employers can't pay enough for what you're taking with you, okay? I remember some of the crazy things that we do just to make ourselves contribute a little bit more. I was a junior high student. I was a French horn. My sister was French horn. My brother was a percussionist. And I remember the day he came home from school, and the late Robert Nelson had sent him home with a set of cymbals that he was to practice before they went to competition. I wish you could have seen my parents. He didn't practice that in his bedroom. Or the time that I was part of the majorette line when we still had majorettes back in the dark ages. And I brought home a machete, so long, that we had bought at the Army surplus store or something. And I sweetly asked my dad, would you please grind the blade down so it's not sharp? And he just looked at me and I said, well, our majorette line's gonna twirl these at halftime. Nobody else would have probably understood that, but Dad just, that's what he did. Or the time I came home from college for Thanksgiving break, and we were given an assignment to paint Thanksgiving dinner. Media of our choice, but we were to paint the Thanksgiving dinner. And he gave us two choices. We could paint it as it sat on the table pre-dinner, or we could do it after dinner. What do you think I did? There was no way my family was going to wait until I painted the turkey to eat. So while they were in the other room sleeping on the couch or watching football or something, there I was painting that disgusting turkey carcass. I have no idea where that painting ended up, but not on the wall, I promise you. So this commitment that only arts people understand is going to go with you. And I don't know the percentage of y'all that are going to do this as a career. I won't ask you to raise your hand because some of you may not know yet. Matter of fact, tonight I just ran into a young man who graduated in 2014, and I asked him what he'd been doing. He had just moved back home, had been in Indiana. He's getting ready to start school again to be a graphic artist. That was not his original plan, but that's where he ended up. So you may not quite know yet. You may be blessed like I feel like I was in 9th grade. I knew I wanted to be an art teacher, and I had the support at home that I was able to do that. I never regret it. And it was 36 years, actually, of teaching, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But if you're not going to do this as a career, I want you to think about the little ones that are going to come behind you. You may be a parent or an aunt, uncle, grandparent, and you're going to be able to nurture those gifts in those little ones that come behind you because of your experience here. Take advantage of that. So also I want you to think of the dedication and the time that you put in. And I want you to think, not only did you do that to hone your craft that you've been doing for 4 years, some of you did things like unload and load the utility trailer for all the equipment, or clean out the scene shop for Miss Maupin because it needed to be done, or you stayed and cleaned out the bus because somebody had to take the trash out before you could go home, or you stopped and you cleaned the brushes that were left in the sink in the classroom because if not, they'd be ruined. You know, those are the kinds of things that I know are part of who you are, that dedication, that it's more than just you. Think of all the volunteer hours you guys put in the last at least 4 years. You've raised thousands of dollars for special events, for equipment, maybe for costumes, something for the madrigal or a play or something, or maybe to serve thousands of meals in the community through the food bank. And congratulations, I heard you guys really knocked the top off this year, so I'm so excited for that. And you know, on top of that, you had to keep your grades up, and some of you had jobs. That's what you take with you. Those are those soft skills we've been teaching. So if you don't do this as a career, please don't abandon it altogether. Let it be your safe haven when you need to just have that downtime away from other things that are going on. Don't let it go. Sing in a church choir or a community choir, play in a band or orchestra, get involved in your community theater, work in your own studio, or just take that sketchbook with you. Don't let it go. That's who you are. Teach lessons, but whatever you do, keep doing what makes you whole. That's what'll make you happy. And another thing I want to remind you of is you guys didn't do this all on your own. There's people, some of you sitting next to you, or maybe they're at home, friends, family, that were your encouragers. Please be that for somebody else. We need you, okay? I just want to say thank you for having me. Congratulations. Stay safe and just take on the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Beth Ivins, for your wise words of encouragement. Good evening, and thank you again for joining us to recognize our Fine Arts Achievers. My name is Tori Rudolph, and I have had the pleasure of directing the junior high and high school choir for the past 2 years. I would like to begin the evening by recognizing a very special group of students who are what we call double completers, meaning that they have completed 8 semesters in study in not just one, but 2 arts programs here at the high school. These students have shown a tremendous dedication and commitment to the fine arts throughout their time here in school, so we would like to take a moment to recognize them first on our program. Students, as I call your name, please come up to the stage on stage left to receive your cord and exit over here on stage right. Starting with our double completers, Reagan Hawkins. Landon Shirley. Gabrielle Hebert. Erica Duncan. And Gabriella Dover. Let's hear it for our students. We will first recognize the band program of study students. If you will come up to receive your cord and your certificate and stay on the stage for a picture. If you have been a double completer, you already have your cord, but come up and get your certificate and stay on the stage, please. All right, Carabaloo. Kendi Bradford Young. Easton Broom. Mackenzie Clark. Kian Corcoran. Corey Creighton. Lily Darty. Megan Eddings. Leah Gatewood. Gabrielle Hébert. Micah Howell. Sarah Jackson Lockyer. Jacob Parker. Cregan Partee. Justin Rogoski. Hannah Russell. Gwyneth Samonte. Braden Sanford. Landon Shirley. Bryson Simpson. George Smith. Kenzie Stanfield. Macy Tuberville. "23 band program of study achievers. Did I overlook anybody? Congratulations to these students. If you guys will just stay on stage for a few more seconds and come down to this side a little bit, if you'll scoot down toward me, we'll get a group photo.
Congratulations. All right. At this time, we'll recognize the theater students. There are 4 of them that have completed 8 semesters of theater. Kylie Andrews. Gabriella Dover. Don't recognize some of you out of costume from Beauty and the Beast. Reagan Hawkins. and Noah Ireland.
And achievers in the visual arts, Gabriella Dover, Erica Duncan, Gary Haynes, Katarina McFarland, Merritt McConnell, Penelope Mullins, Maya Kichocho, and Aerith Barnes. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Steve Hargett. I'm the art teacher here at Mountain Home. I'm the lucky one that gets to replace a legend, Miss Ivins. Achievers in vocal arts, Abby Bellatier. Reagan Hawkins. Mackenzie Butterfield. Kelso Haught. Ashlyn McKelly. Garrett Robinson. Landon Shirley. Caden White. Isabella Adkins. Katie Kadir. Gabrielle Hebert. Laura Boxdaler. Jaden Davis. And Erica Duncan.
Let's hear it for those choir kids, shall we? Let's give one more round of applause for all of these wonderful achievers tonight. It is my honor to present to you Vanessa Martin from the Mountain Home Education Foundation. She will be presenting the scholarships awarded in the areas of band, theater, and visual arts. I do want you to know the judges told us this was a very difficult decision.
Hello. I want to thank you for inviting me here tonight. It's truly an honor to be here to celebrate you and your successes in your chosen arts. As a former band student right here at Mountain Home and a parent of a former theater student, I've experienced and witnessed what all it takes for you to get to this point. And as I thought about this tonight when I was getting ready, I was just thinking about all of the people in your lives that are behind you that made this happen, just like Ms. Ivins has said earlier. First of all, to you students, for your endless hours of practice and sacrifices to put yourself in this position to be here and celebrate tonight. And to your parents, who are your supporters and your cheerleaders and your encouragers, when you were exhausted and talked you out of quitting, because I know at least one time everybody wanted to quit. To your directors and your teachers who pushed you and expected more from you than you thought was possible, but always believed in you and your talents. And to your community, who believes in you and your future and your success, so much so that they have raised the funds and donated the money to make these scholarships possible. So I had the greatest job of all, because I just get to show up and pass out money. So that's what we're here for, right? Okay, let's get on with it then. So tonight, receiving the scholarship in Instrumental Music Achievement, Cragen Partee. Receiving the scholarship for Theater Arts Achiever is Kylie Andrews. And the Visual Art Achiever Scholarship goes to Merritt McConnell.
Congratulations, scholarship recipients. Before we dismiss tonight, we just have one more thing. Most of you probably know that a wonderful lady standing behind me is going to be retiring this year. I would like just to say a few words about Mrs. Karen Maupin. There's not really a whole lot that I can put in words because those of you who know her, you know that she is larger than life. And she has been an incredible part of our school for many years and an important part of the lives of many of you sitting here. We owe her so much for instilling the love of theater, of putting yourself out there, of instilling confidence in a lot of her students. And she is definitely leaving a legacy behind her, and her shoes, I doubt, could ever be filled the same. But I do want to recognize Mrs. Maupin on behalf of all of the fine arts instructors and all of our school family here, and tell her thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything that she has done for us. A lot of you know that she puts in probably 100 hours per week, especially during performing season. A lot of things that go on behind the stage. And so I'd like to recognize Mrs. Karen Maupin at this time.
Thank you, everybody. I did not know they were going to do this, but I will tell you this. I am nothing but blessed to have been in such a place to do what I love with students that I love for the past 22 years. Mountain Home Public Schools has supported me. They have let me do my thing. And, you know, the first year I was here, I taught biology, and when I tell my students that, they just absolutely don't believe it. But Dana Brown was the one who believed in me and let me swap over to theater, and I've been going ever since, and I've loved every minute of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come out here tonight. We wish you the very best. We want to congratulate our graduates and thank you for the dedication that you put in for the arts and for all the support. Those of you that are here with these students tonight, we love you. God bless you, and good evening.